the Dog Online, and we have at last the Resident Evil 2 full release. It's been probably, what, 20 years now since the last one, so we're going to have a run through. I have already started part of the story on here, so we're going to be running through right back from the beginning again, and then we'll see what we've got. So let's have a look. Hard assisted. I think we're just going to go with the normal mode just to start with. It's been a while since I played the modern game, so we'll go through on this one here. Let's see what we've got.
Look, man, I'm serious, okay? I saw this with my own eyes.
Oh, I believe you, buddy. I believe you. Just tell us a story. Tell us a story.
Okay, well, it was last Friday night. I was walking home from the bar, and this woman started coming towards me. She was staggering, you know, so I figured she was drunk.
Whoa. Okay, tell us, be honest now, how many drinks did you have?
No, man, I barely had a buzz on.
Oh, come on.
Look, just listen, all right? She got closer, and I got a good look at her. You got to see her eyes, her nose, her whole face. It looked like it was rotting.
Yeah.
She looked like a corpse, like a walking corpse, man.
Sounds like my wife.
I've never seen anything like it. I haven't been able to sleep since that night.
Yeah, so those of us that remember the original Resident Evil 2, obviously it started off with the truck driver in the very beginning. The graphics look absolutely incredible. They've moved on an awful lot since the PlayStation 1 days.
Come on, it's just getting good.
Those that don't know, this is the first time I've actually done an audio broadcast on here, so this is the first for me. So I've got a new headset, so if there is any issues with that, I have to apologise in advance. Ooh! I have picked up the expansion pack for the deluxe edition. I haven't bought the box edition. I've bought the steelbook, which didn't come with all the exclusives, but I have picked up the extra costumes, extra weaponry, and everything else. So obviously Leon here, modelling what we like to call the Rick Grimes look. I think we have. I think they've shamelessly ripped that off from The Walking Dead, but obviously it's something that had to be done. Let's see what other nods we have as we progress through the game.
No one's around. That's weird.
The graphics on this do seem infinitely superior to where we've gone from the past. So let's see. So we have standard L3 running.
Hello? Anybody there?
It's very reminiscent of early Walking Dead. Very, very reminiscent indeed. Obviously since Resident Evil 2 was released the first time round, you've had an absolute abundance of zombie related media.
You alright? Don't move. I'll be back for you.
looks like could possibly be the scene that was in the original trailers.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
Stay back, sir. He's clearly in a cop's uniform. Wow.
Freeze! I'll shoot! Oh, shit! God damn it! Damn it! Bastard!
Yeah, so headshots definitely aren't anywhere near as effective as they used to be. Absolutely nowhere near.
No way.
Guessing the odds are it's probably going to be quite a jump scare game again by the sound of it.
What the?
There's Claire.
Don't shoot!
Get down!
We picked the Elsa Walker costume. Just for giggles more than anything else, just to see what it's like.
You alright?
Which for those who
I
don't
think
know
so.
is a
Thanks.
costume based on
Thank
a...
you later. When we're
Well, it's
safe.
a sort of sequel, as it were, that was never actually released from Capcom. It was seen as Resident Evil 1.5. It was done before Resident Evil 2. There is a YouTuber called Alpha Omega Sin, big fan of him. He's gone through the topic in some depth about what went on with Resident Evil 1.5. It's always worth googling and having a look at that if you are interested. It's quite an interesting tale. It was, as far as I'm aware, it was almost 3/4 finished. And then they decided, obviously it wasn't doing what they wanted, so it was dropped completely, and much like the remake now, it was rebuilt from the ground up, resulting in the sequel of
going on?
Resident Evil 2,
know.
the classic version on the
They'll have some
PS1,
answers
obviously,
for
that we know and love now.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is a cop, Claire. It's pretty obvious.
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
That's very, very Gotham. Very, very Gotham indeed.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
That's clearly a nod to the European audience there. It was always the Raccoon Police Department. They've
Station's
changed
not much
the
farther. They'll have
dialogue to
something.
Raccoon Police Station, so they're probably catering to the
Yeah,
European audience on this release.
What if we're the only
Obviously, with
ones?
me being in
There's
the
no
UK.
survivors.
No, there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. like we're walking from here.
It will be interesting to see how much relevance they put towards copying the layouts and the actual locations of the city and the buildings from the first one. Something I'm very curious about is to see how much it takes in the Kendo gun store, if nothing else.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Oh, he clearly had a passenger.
Get out. Get out now! Hold on!
Oh, it's quite an impact.
Claire! Claire, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. How about you?
Wow, this new RE engine clearly is absolutely
stay here, it's
superb.
not
Look how
safe.
amazing that looks.
Go on ahead. I'll meet you at the station.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we don't have the ammunition
This
to
is
take
out of
them on.
control.
Let's get out of here. On a later run through, I'm assuming they'll have unlimited ammo modes and other bits and pieces. I'll be looking around here some more. But for this first run through, we're just going to get through as quickly as we can.
Shit. It's everybody. They've all turned.
It's very similar to the areas where Jill would run
There
through
it is.
in Resident
Station.
Evil 3. The rain effect on Leon's costume is very impressive. Oh, that's a little more graphic than what we're used to. Certainly didn't have these kind of bodies laying around in the first Resident Evil copy, so looks like Capcom are certainly going a bit more graphic this time round. And here we are in the
Hello?
RPD.
Is anybody here?
Some handgun ammo. Oh, there should be in here. There we go, the Samurai Edge. Obviously that's a bit more of a powerful weapon, so we'll pick that up first off. So we're not going to need that, so let's lose that, free up some item space. Doesn't seem to be much else in here, so let's just run up here and grab the medallion first off. Obviously those of you that have played the one-shot demo will be accustomed to this. Let's try and remember what the code was. There we go. So that's the lion medallion. Looks like there'll be 3 of those, whereas obviously there's only... was there 2 in the original? I think there was the wolf and the eagle. The ones that you got from obviously down in the sewers. So let's get rid of that to start with. Don't think there's much of any interest here. Let's run through and actually this is the area that we've already covered in the one-shot demo, so this is fairly familiar. Fuse box. I have obviously I've selected the original soundtrack for this playthrough. Some more ammunition, always welcome. Not sure what the capacity of the Samurai Edge gun is. Obviously it's superior to the standard handgun that you start off with. There is the ability to expand your standard handgun as you go through the game, the Matilda. So in the original Resident Evil you had the ability to convert it to a 3-burst machine gun as well, which was very handy, but it really did eat up ammunition very, very quickly. Typical ladies' toilet, they'll never admit it, but they block it more than us men do.
Jesus.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door!
Pretty much exactly the same as the demo from the first time through.
Please!
Give me your hand.
Help me!
I got you. Give me your other hand.
Much more graphic than the original, but obviously we only had the small amount of processing power that the PS1 had compared to consoles of today. Yeah, zombie will come bursting through here now. If I remember rightly, the procedure here is just to sprint back through now as quickly as you can. You don't want to be wasting ammunition if you can help it.
What the hell?
It is very interesting hearing the old soundtracks back again. It's been a long while since I've heard those.
You're safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Branner.
Leon Kennedy. There was another off strike. I couldn't.
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue.
Obviously, that's the
Honestly, all
template
you
of
need to know is that this place will
Leon
get you
equipping his
alive.
uniform, if not using the extra
You know, I was
costumes.
supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is
That's
good
the
news.
passageway that we've already started opening up, obviously.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
The voice modelling and acting obviously is far
Stop
superior
it.
to the original. Much, much better.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. Take it.
Poor old Marvin. We all know what's going to happen with him, obviously.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So the combat knife isn't permanent anymore. Obviously, it will break and be damaged over time.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
Let's try and conserve space if we can. So that was one of the main items of the whole Resident Evil story. Space preservation at all costs. Looks like the Samurai Edge, the capacity is 15, so that's pretty good for a standard handgun. Now there's an interesting tale that I've seen online about this. If you look at the base of the screen here, when the announcement of Resident Evil 2 remake being done would start with, I've forgotten what the producer's name was, but he had a t-shirt that had "We Do It" on it. Apparently that's become quite an in-joke with the Resident Evil producer. But if you look at the base of this statue, just where the Raccoon Police Department motto actually says "We Do It," so that's a nice little nod to those that are looking for it. No liquor this time round. Now this was one of the most graphic parts of the one-shot demo. But it just showed the power of the new graphics. Oh, delightful. This makes you think you could murder a steak seeing that kind of thing. At this point is usually where you would have the liquor appearing on the ceiling in the first truly pant-wetting moment of the original. Obviously that hasn't happened this time round. There's enough nods to the original, but obviously they want to keep it as new and fresh as they possibly can. So we're going to be taking our time with this. We're not going for a speed run this time round. We are going to take our time. There's the map. Actually one of the more vital items that you will need through the game. That's the one that's got the chains over it.
You bastard!
God damn it. Thankfully there doesn't seem to be a graphic for the first aid sprays in this, unlike the travesty that was Resident Evil 5. That took up a lot of loading time when you were in the middle of a fight. Fat zombie. I suspect that a nice clear headshot like this is going to be a rarity in this game. So we have gunpowder here.
Shit.
To remember what these codes are. I have already done this part once. Just trying to remember what the codes of them were. There is two of them here. I think the other one is NED. Just trying to remember what the first one is. Was it the NED on this one? Yeah, it must be. There we go. And that's, well, I put earlier, that's the high capacity magazine. If you look on the locker, you have the words JoJo. That's an in-joke from the producers as well. It's from one of the original games. I'm not too sure what the ammo situation is in this version, but obviously only having one bullet left isn't the most impressive situation to be in the world, so we'll try and address that rapidly. It's the classic save music. There's always a welcome relief to hear that when you were playing through the original. That's a bit better. So obviously you get a nice magazine full of fresh bullets. That's handy, so I think we'll actually keep that second gun on us just for the time being while we're limited on ammunition. More ammunition is always handy. So we'll take all the ammunition we can get, or we're still getting used to this game. I'm not entirely sure on how you tell when zombies are fully dead on this version. Obviously in the old one you'd have a blood pool that was spread. The body will jump out here now. Okay, so we have the first smaller puzzle here. I've seen one or two videos on this, so we'll see what we can work out. There we go. It's very similar to the old Simon Says games that you had when you were a kid. So obviously that's part of a key for a keypad later in the game. magnum ammo this early in the game is, well, we don't know if that's a positive thing or not. That's the key for downstairs in the hall in the police station. So it's always best to have a good scan round, see what you can find. Oh, there's the first sign of the liquor. Now, from what I've read, from what I've seen online, the liquors are much more of a serious challenge in this version of the game. Much heavier duty to deal with. Also, we have the challenge here of being out of inventory space. More ammunition. Very welcome indeed. Ah, there we go. There's some more space. That solves that problem. Let's leave those there just for now until we see what else we can find.
Leon, it's Marvin. I need you back here ASAP.
Are you okay, Marvin?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
Copy that. I'll be right there. God damn it.
Oh, that's going to be permanent. Even without them being as powerful as in the originals, or shall I say from Resident Evil 4, it still seems that headshots are still the way to go if you can land them.
Shit!
Get back down.
Son of a bitch.
So, yeah. The zombies are very much indeed much more resilient this time round. Another knife. It seems that the knife is going to be much more of a prevalent situation in this time. Much handier. And that brings us back into the main police station. Let's see what Marvin has for us.
There you are.
Hopefully Marvin will have much more of a major role in this situation.
Yes.
He didn't have much in the last
knew
one.
she'd make it.
Even with that, he still became a very classic character.
Yeah. Name's Claire. I came into town with her.
You can get to that courtyard. To the second floor. East side.
I'm on it. Thanks, Lieutenant.
So we're going to do a little housekeeping. Just tidy up stuff here and there. We don't need the shotgun shells just yet, or the magnum rounds, so that's going to be some space we can save. Don't think the book. Piece of plastic. Yeah, so that's fine. That'll be to do with the statues later on in the game. We're going to be on the long route round here, but we don't mind that too much. The club key, so obviously we don't have access to that quite yet. Oh, good grief. Really should forget that just because you've been through an area once doesn't mean it's safe to carry on again. If I remember right, that zombie should be around here, so I should be able to retrieve the original combat knife, if nothing else.
What the?
Oh, that was lucky. Seems that emergency defense items are going to be quite important. Okay. So 102. 106 if we can open that. 109. 102. 106. 109. Some more ammunition. And what have we got on this side that we can open now? 203 obviously we can't open yet. 208 we can. So 208. It appears that guy wasn't quite dead. And there's the book. Seeing there that we already have, so that statue will obviously appear at some point later on. Anything else we can use right now? We have a knife there, so that's good. I'll keep hold of that knife. Still trying to get through to the original layout. That's the West office, there we go. That's the door that we opened earlier. God damn it. Better. That's back to the main hall. Okay, so let's find that notepad. There we go. So if there's one with a fish, grab on a jug. There we are. Now what we'll do is we'll take... Not entirely sure how he's still alive.
Damn it.
Hopefully that'll be him dealt with once and for all. He's been a little bit too stubborn for my liking. God knows, maybe adding a little of extra time. But I think I'd rather maintain the inventory space for this first run through. Now if that zombie is still alive, I'm going to be mightily pissed. does seem like we've dealt with him permanently. Hopefully that'll remain the case. That door's locked. That'll be a map for the second floor. That's handy. One of these floors will break through at some point. Actually not that part yet. Must be this part going towards this door, I believe. There we go. Not quite sure how relevant that is, other than just actually keeping you from reaching that door. Obviously I know we could have mixed that herb with the red one that we have in stock, but we're going to save that one just for the time being. What was the code on this one? Let me think. I'm trying to remember. Okay, that's another part for the Matilda. Guide pamphlet. Haha, there's the first mention of Umbrella. I wonder if you'll get a new magazine with every upgrade. No, it doesn't seem so. So we'll just leave that there and we'll save the inventory space again. Obviously experienced players will know why I'm trying to keep up as much storage space free as possible. It may be a little bit annoying to those new players, people watching. Obviously I'm playing this for the first time through. I wonder if you'll get a notification saying keys are useless. Ah yeah, you get a little tick there saying that you no longer need that key. So we can dispose of that and again save on inventory space. Ah, there's our king. So actually he's going to need that book, isn't he? Let's have a look around and see what else we can find while we're in here, see if there is anything. Is there a light switch in here? Doesn't appear to be. To grab there. Ah, the weapons locker. That will be very handy indeed. Find the weapons locker later, I believe, that may contain the shotgun. A crank handle of some form. There's a sound of a helicopter in the distance there. I wonder if that's signifying the arrival of the tyrant at some point later on. That's back in the waiting room. Maybe not. That's what that'll be. I don't know if Mr. X will show up in this part of Leon's scenario. I'm guessing he probably will. But first things first, before we do this. We are going to be very methodical, if not a little time wasting. We are going to try and get as many puzzles completed as we encounter them. So let's go and have a look at that book. There we go. The puzzles don't seem to be too tricky at the moment. I don't know whether they'll have different layouts and different locations if you play hard mode. Obviously I'm only playing normal mode for this first time playthrough. There still does seem to be a little pixelation on the hands there, so the graphics aren't massively improved. I mean, obviously they're improved on the PS1 version, but not to the point. Okay, so we've got a gemstone. If you remember in the first version, you had 2 gemstones that went in a fire. Well, it was not in the fire. You got one from behind the fireplace with a lighter in the police station. So here's Claire.
Claire! Hold on! I'll be right there!
Okay.
Claire! It's so nice to see you.
How are you doing? That helicopter just came out of nowhere.
I'm in one piece. It's so nice to see you.
I'm guessing you don't have a key in one of those fancy pockets?
Unfortunately, no. But how are you doing?
You know, just surviving.
That's good. Yeah. Any luck with your brother?
No, not yet.
There.
They seem to have changed Claire's features a lot.
Find him.
She's not quite as much as a redhead as before, and there was a lot of backlash on her features in, I think it was Resident Evil 6, possibly. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
Don't worry about
But there was a lot of discussion on how different she looked in that.
You need to go. Now!
Okay, let's get through this. Both of us.
Very, very Rick Grimes indeed.
Marvin, I've got a situation here.
Wonder if AMC had anything to say about that.
I'm surrounded by zombies. Marvin, do you copy? Marvin! Damn it!
Leon. Marvin ain't going to be doing too well. At least I wouldn't have thought so at this point of the game. He didn't seem to get into trouble until much later in the original version, as I remember. Oh, damn it! Anything interesting in here? Doesn't seem to be, so it looks like I've just taken a bite. Pretty much for nothing. Oh well. Never mind. Oh, damn it. Ah, so the wood stacks at least. That's handy to know. Okay, so the loading graphic is fairly slow. So that fat boy really took some killing. Hopefully it looks like he's tasted the business for the last time. Okay, so it looks like that will only take one more hit at best. It's a flaming zombies, that's new. And we're not going to be getting through there.
What? Jesus.
Graphically, that's really impressive. So if I remember, I think there was a room that was chained shut. I can't remember where that was, which side of the room that was on. Let's go see if we can find that. Wasn't here. Nothing behind me. Obviously it's one of the situations where you're going to want to make sure that you don't get caught out with anything behind you.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, that should be a little safer. Still a club key. Oh, that guy's still alive as well. That's that one dealt with, for certain. Ah, there we go. Let's see where we are. So it's the records room in here. That's locked. Another herb, which we will certainly take. Flash grenade, that seems like a defensive item.
Still alive.
Okay, so we are going to head back to the safety deposit room. So the quickest way to that. You see, there's a little bit of a delay in response on some of these controls, just a touch, when you're trying to run, for example. Okay, so we need to go straight over. Straight over again. There we go. I think that will come in very, very handy coming forward.
Son of a bitch.
Right. There we go, there's access now to the East Office. Throw a few various goodies in here. Obviously we're going to need the battery for the detonator first. And we're going to need this crank handle as well. And there's the fuse for that door. Let's clear that doorway as well. What do we have? Okay, that's give us some space. Oh, that's hand that reopens that door properly for us. This door should also now be unlocked. So we'll run around and grab that. No, he doesn't leave him crawling around on his own. He's not doing any harm to anyone just there. Okay. Take that out. The more ammunition we can have, the better. I'm not entirely sure whether this is the full capacity of what you can eventually carry. Okay, now we've got that crank handle, we should be able to open that door upstairs. So let's head back there and see what we can find. So there's going to be players that have played this through several times already. It'll probably be screaming at the screen right now, but hey, so be it. That's not going to be the correct crank handle. Here's a graphic for handling the shotgun, very much like the cowboy shotgun that Jill picks up in Resident Evil Nemesis. Right, this obviously isn't the way for that. Not much we can do with that either for now. Now again, this is the room that has the C4 in it there. There's not much we can do with that, just for the time being. Nope, we've already been that way. Got a space for that, so we might as well grab those now as well while we're here. The wooden boards. The lickers, yeah, they're blind, so that's a handy little tip. You can creep past them usually if you're running short on ammunition, obviously. There's a lot of excitement in some of the articles that I was reading about this. People were wondering whether Nemesis was going to make an appearance. Obviously people were thinking that the holes in the walls upstairs there were made by him or anything relevant, because also what you have to remember is that Resident Evil 2 actually takes place halfway between Resident Evil 3. Obviously there's a period where Jill is unconscious. There's some more gunpowder. There's nothing there. More shotgun ammo. Very, very welcome indeed.
What in God's name?
And there's our first sighting of the liquor. Obviously right now we do not want to be tangling with him. And there's the old classic music. And there of course is the logo from Claire's jacket. Very good, very cool. There's Jill's beret. The classic Jill Valentine. There'll be a few various bits and pieces for us to collect in here, so let's take a look. And there's your Lightning Hawk Magnum in there. Obviously we'll be picking that up later on in the game. There's no access for that yet. You need a couple of pieces to get to that. And there's our battery. There we have our detonator for the C4 upstairs. If you look, that's the original picture. Barry Burton in the background. Of course, Wesker in the middle. Interestingly enough, if you take a look on Twitter, you'll find DC Douglas, the voice of Wesker in Resident Evil 5, I believe it may have been, has discussed the game a couple of times here and there. He said he looks very, very interested in the game, and hopefully it'll be as good as other versions. Obviously, it would have been very cool to have seen a version with DC Douglas making an appearance. Okay, well, there's our friend. Obviously not quite that blind. So we're going to make a run for it for now. We don't fancy tangling with the lickers without a Magnum in hand. No, I don't know if this is the hallway where we will tangle with Mr. X at some point or not. It looks quite similar, but I don't know if it will be or not. Not entirely sure that it is. I think that may well be the helicopter hallway. Okay, let's take another look at that notebook again, and we'll get the code for this statue. There we go. So a head, a snake, and bow and arrows. Let's take another look. Ah, that'll be why. The bow and arrows there. And the snake there. There we go. And that will be the final medallion. So we are going to be making a run for it. Because those lickers will make a mess of you. And although we do have the shotgun, we do not intend on messing with them too much if we can help it. Let's check the map out, see if we're heading to the right way. To the main hall. Okay, so we'll head through the west office, back to the main hall. There we go.
So it goes underground. Huh. That's it. That's our way out. Lieutenant Branna! Marvin! It's time to go. Hey, Marvin. We need to get you to a hospital right now.
No, save yourself.
Come on, I've got you. Go! That's our way out. Look, we can still make it out of here together. Just can...
It's too late.
It's time to go.
I tried, Leon. But I couldn't stop it. We can't let this thing spread. It's on you now. Just go.
I understand.
My buddy Tom's just been commenting on the feed. Yeah, Tom, it's absolutely incredible. I'm really liking it. Does seem that there's just about enough nods here to the original to keep it interesting. Was this Brian Irons' office? Maybe? Let's take a model of the police station. The clock tower that obviously Nemesis will destroy in Resident Evil 3. Now hopefully they're going to be looking into making progress on that remake, because the very thought of Nemesis appearing with the graphical power of consoles as they are now is quite incredible. But obviously as technology progresses, we'll be looking possibly even the PS5 by the time Nemesis will be appearing. Now that's a thought and a half. Especially with the PS4 seemingly reaching the end of its gaming life at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, most likely. PS4 possibly for a little longer, but the original PS4 will still be having a look at that kind of cycle. I think the PlayStations have a life cycle of between 9 to 10 years, I think maybe. Okay, so we have...
What the?
Oh, a hand grenade. So it's okay, that's again another defensive item, so it's Be handy to keep. I'm guessing it'll be activated by shooting it rather than activating it in person, but we'll have to see. Right, so that's locked. What else have we got around? Doesn't seem like very much, so let's... No, don't go throwing that, we might need that in a minute. So let's take a look. This looks a lot like the corridor that Mr. X appeared in the Leon B scenario on the original game. So I wonder if that will be of any consequence. So we're obviously into a much more expanded area than we're used to dealing with. That's blocked, nothing through there. No, actually there's another locker that's come down. Holy cow, oh, it's Birkin.
Jesus. Bricks won't work on this thing. Choice. Gotta take it down.
Come on, run! Again, the running glitch seems to have come into effect again there. It does seem to struggle every now and then when you're asking him to run. That's a nod back to the original again, where Birkin threw himself over a balcony to escape. First time round.
Somebody's watching me.
Okay, so let's take a look around this area. I'm sure there'll be some items or ammunition that I haven't grabbed during the fight, during the battle. Usually there's something of some form knocking around here and there. There we go. There's a grenade. I wonder if you'll have the ability to create the enhanced rounds that obviously you had in the classic again. Will be interesting to see. The idea of enhanced rounds combined with this Samurai Edge handgun that you buy as an optional DLC could be very interesting indeed. Anything else in this room? Doesn't look like it. So all in all, it seems pretty superb so far. I'm enjoying it a great deal. Very, very nicely done. Obviously for people like me that are a huge fan of the series as a whole, this has been a welcome return. So let's have a scan through. Let's bring that gunpowder. So the more ammunition and so forth that we can carry, the better. We'll keep that with us. We'll store that. We'll take the regular green herb with us, just because you never know. Better safe than sorry. Let's see where we're headed. Okay. And this is the part where we'll come across the dogs. You can hear the dogs howling in the background. What I'll always try and do is have a little explore before we end up triggering the in-game moments if possible. Just because you never know, the odd random green herb or packet of handgun ammo can save your backside more often than you'd think. So everywhere's locked. Okay, Okay, so full health. Okay, we're good for now.
Damn. Need to keep
Oh, there we go. There's the dogs. Wow, just look at that. Absolutely incredible.
kidding me.
Get off of me!
Hey,
Who is that?
stay sharp. Lower it. FBI.
Yeah, of course you are, Ada.
Sorry.
Of course you are.
Thank you. Your help.
Surprised you made it this far.
FBI,
It's a shame, really. I'm on my
What's going on here?
backup
Sorry,
TV
that information's classified.
playing this
Where
one
you
through
going?
our larger one. Died of death just before Christmas. We were
Do
planning on
something.
getting a larger one.
Stop asking questions and get the hell out of here.
I'm just thinking what this would look like in a much larger screen than I think the 40 inches on at the moment.
Hey! I'm not done talking to you!
Okay, so this will probably be the part where we come across Ben, at a guess. Get out of here before you lead it right to me. Okay, we're not going to throw that just yet, just in case that happens to open all the cell doors, which is what we don't want to do.
I don't believe it. A real human. Hello, human.
You been here long?
Long enough. Are we the last ones alive?
No, there's a few of us.
That's good news, I guess.
Yeah.
That's of course Iron sent you.
Irons. You mean Chief Irons? Is he still around?
Who cares? Hopefully he's somebody's dinner by now.
What do you mean by that?
He's the bastard that locked me in
Is
here.
it just me,
I'm sure he
or
had
does
good
Ben
reason.
look an
He did.
awful lot like David Baddiel?
I was about to blow the whistle on his dirty ass. I'd have done the same thing to him, I guess. Hey, I'll make you a deal. Unlock this cell and I'll give you this. There's no other way out of that parking garage. Believe me.
Sorry, I can't do that. I have to talk to the Chief first.
Look, we're both prisoners in the station. So either we play nice and help each other out, or... Shit. It's coming.
What?
Not entirely
What's coming?
sure
Come on, don't be an asshole.
that
Okay, you
these
need
developers
this.
have entirely embraced the
Just
concept
get
of
me the
playing
fuck
nice
outta here.
while in a prison isn't the best of ideas. Now that has to be Mr. X. Well, we've got the Rick Grimes costume, and now we have the Glenn
It's just
costume.
me. So you put that thing away.
I don't even know what happened. It just happened so quick.
I told you to get out of here. Wouldn't want to end up like Ben, would you?
You want to end up like Glenn? Maggie, I'll find you.
Had information of use to my investigation.
I
So
just
this is
popped you
true.
so hard, your eyeball popped out of your skull.
Hey,
And it
can't
is
keep
gross
walking
as
away from me.
shit.
I don't even know
Oh,
your name.
Negan, I heart you.
I'm Leon Kennedy.
Find a way out, Leon. Before it's too late. Then we'll talk. Name's Ada.
Well, I guess the deal's on.
Sorry guys, just replying to my buddy Tom. And there is our tool. Jail power panel.
What in the world?
Maggie. I find you, Maggie. Okay. So we're going to need to find some sort of parts for that. I'm guessing all of these will be locked. No. Okay. Let's see if Ada opened this door. No, she didn't. What about this one? Has she opened this one? No. Right, so it's back all the way to the police station. For us. Police station map. Thank you kindly. That's the electronic panel that obviously we can't open right now. That's the card reader. But that door's showing as blue. That's not the door we came in because we came in through there. So let's go back and see if we can open that or not. Obviously we are going to take the shotgun because those dogs, I imagine, are going to be fast little buggers. Okay. Yeah, that door's shown as green now. That wasn't before, was it? It must have been the door that Ada came in from. More liquors. Wonderful. Let's see what's in here. Ah, there we go. Diamond key. That door. Guessing the second I take this ammunition, these two will be leaping up. That's one of the statues is one of the side bonuses in the game. I can't remember exactly what it is. There we go, Mr. Raccoon. That's the third part of the Matilda. Which should, if I remember rightly, turn it into a 3-burst submachine gun. Well, not a submachine gun, but a 3-round automatic. Let's take a look. That can go into there. Let's bring out the Matilda. There we go. Now the question we have at this point is it worth still keeping hold of the Samurai Edge as opposed to the Matilda, which is going to be a little bit more powerful now it has 3 rounds. That's very true, Tom. Yes, indeed. Me and Resident Evil. However, believe it or not, I didn't actually go for the steelbook, the exclusive edition. I just got the steelbook version with the Elsa Walker download code. But I did buy the DLC pack anyway as an extra, and I actually gave the original download code with the steelbook away to someone in one of the PlayStation groups in just a little giveaway contest. But as you were asking about the costumes earlier, you get a few costumes with the DLC pack, as well as a couple of extra guns and the alternative soundtrack, which is the one that I'm using on this playthrough. With Leon, you get obviously you get his original police uniform. You get this Rick Grimes outfit. You get what I think is like a 1920s sort of gangster costume as well, which, believe it or not, actually looks more like Tom Welling's Clark Kent from Smallville than anything else. And I'm really serious, it does look a great deal like him. I think Claire's costume, you get the Elsa Walker costume, some sort of military outfit, and a similar costume for hers for the 1920s deal. Okay, let's have a look. Did I just go back down those? I think I did. Yeah, that's the one I just came back down. I have absolutely no idea whether you have to go back the way you came or... Oh, that's right, Birkin through here, so you can't get back down that way, so it looks like we'll have to find our way through, maybe through the parking lot. That's right, he threw us through there, didn't he? Okay. I'm actually trying to play this through without referring too much to tips and spoilers if I can help it. Hence the doubling back on myself, probably more than once or twice. We'll keep the Samurai Edge just for now. We'll try and refrain from blasting through the ammunition that we do have. The 3-round capacity on the Matilda does help you eat through not shotgun rounds, handgun rounds a lot quicker than you'd like. It's very handy for laying the smackdown on some of the more sub-bosses. Possibly handy for the dogs as well, thinking about it. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So yes, Tom, the costume is very, very similar to that one. Yeah, it does have the overcoat. I think it's just a shirt and a waistcoat, but it's a very similar outlook. I think they call it the noir costume. I think you may have a black and white screen filter as well, possibly. I can't remember. So I haven't looked at it in too much detail in that costume. I've just gone straight for this playthrough. Okay, so we have a dog there. Okay, so we need to go right round. Try not to deal too much with those dogs if we can help it. On first aspect, those buggers do seem to be very, very fast indeed. Yeah, the suit of armor was very good in Resident Evil 4. The handiest bit about that, obviously, was that as annoying as Ashley was, she couldn't get carried away by the last Plagas monsters. It didn't keep her quiet at all, unfortunately, which was probably the worst thing about it. Oh, I found it in Joseph by Stars. Turns off the lights out. Dr. Maniac could steal even in jail. Right, so obviously the guy that we're looking for will have something to collect. Nothing there. Next one. Looks like we have to go around this side. There's our key. No thanks. Yes, indeed you can. We will have a quick search of the rest of these lockers, just because you never know if there's anything extra. See if we can see there's anything to collect and putting the bodies back in before they try and leap out at you. Oh, yuck. No, not very pleasant. A red herb, we'll take that. Exactly know what's coming around there. Doesn't really seem to be any particular Reason for the dramatic music then? That's rather strange. You are right, Thomas. The classic C-Virus setup is very much the core of the game, which obviously is why I enjoyed the remake of the first one so much. That was absolutely superb. I really deeply enjoyed that one. The remake of RE1 for the PS4. We seem to have enough shotgun rounds, handgun rounds for now, so we'll make some shotgun ammunition. Always handy to keep that restocked. Which reminds me. There was quite a bit of discussion in the forums and the groups that I'm on when the remake of RE2 was announced as to whether they were going to go along the lines of the remake from the first one too much.
Shit!
Yeah, folks, we are out of here. I don't know if the dogs can follow you through the doors or not. Damn you, Fido.
Jesus.
That's what we found is the dogs are a lot quicker in this version round.
I can do this.
Okay. So that's are we headed the right way? Let's have a look. Okay, we need to do a 180. Head up through this door in the firing range that we've already been through. Okay, let's see what we have. Red herb, thank you. Another roll of film. No more lockers that are open by the look of it. Okay. Oh, damn it. That's just a regular firing range. There we go. It would seem that the right door panel. Okay, so did I miss that part? There we go. That'll be why. Let's see what we have. Okay, so that's one of the key parts for that lock. So let's head back and see if that's enough to get that door unlocked where we found Ben the first time round. Getting to know your way around on this version, I feel is going to be a little bit harder than the first remake. Okay, Fido. Okay. Now, there's still one more dog around, but we'll leave him just where he is, just for now. My guess is that at some point those cells will probably burst themselves open. Okay, so we still need one more piece. We have no card at the moment, so I'm guessing it's all the way back to the police station, up to that top room, to use the crank handle on that shutter. Would be my guess. Yeah, that one there. So let's go. Except we can't get back through that way. Okay, let's have a think. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get through. I don't think we can, but let's have a look all the same. It's not like the other versions where you can climb up some stairs, some boxes by the look of it. Nope. Okay. There's no panel there. Okay. Magnum ammo, even though we don't have a lightning hawk just yet. Store that as well for now.
Asshole.
That looks like the officer that you helped out earlier on, but still ended up as lunch. Where did that sneaky bugger come from?
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Marvin. Oh no. Damn it.
Sorry, Marvin.
I'll stop this, Lieutenant. I promise.
Okay. It seems a shame that Marvin doesn't have any goodies for you. That's for the heart key. That's another one for the heart key. The club key. So at the moment there's nothing down there that we can access, so that's fine. Flash grenade. Or handgun ammo, which is very, very welcome right now. And that's out to the balcony. Let's have a look in the storage room first.
Son of a bitch.
The texturing seems very impressive that they've managed to have so many different role models. Yeah, the classic music, Tom. It's one of the options on the download content that you can buy separately. It's not included in the game originally, but it's a nice little bonus of something that you can buy just to go with it. I think it was $11.99 to buy separately. And obviously, you know me, if it's Resident Evil, it's going to be getting bought. Okay, so we've cleared out this room now. That door behind us is locked, so there's no point hanging around or wasting ammunition on them. More blue herb. Splat. Very much another nod to late series Walking Dead Rick Grimes, where obviously he fell off of his horse or something, was it, I think, in his second to final episode, and ended up impaling himself. That's going off the adverts, obviously, where Mr. X is going to be making his appearance fairly soon. Yeah, Tom, very much so, very much so. Obviously, a fan who's been into this as long as I have is always going to be a matter of deep excitement. Okay, as you can see, they are dropping quite a lot of health on you, which in the age-old series of these games means something's going to be happening fairly soon. Now, going to need that because in a moment two of them are going to be bursting through that door. And it is quite a nice nod actually to the classic that they put that female zombie in that little red dress, which obviously is what she was wearing when she burst out of the same cabin in the original. It was the only part of the whole game in the original Resident Evil 2 where a zombie came through a door at you, and then afterwards you weren't actually able to go back through that door. You had to stay where you were in the back room. Okay, let's see. That crank handle has served all its purposes now. Let's see. Okay, so we have both those keys now, so we can run back to that other room. Now, obviously this is where Mr. X is going to be making his long-awaited appearance. Now there's a trophy that you can get by knocking the hat off of his head. It's a rather strange trophy, I know, but we are not going to be going for that trophy just yet, because obviously we don't have the ammunition to waste. Now that's a heart key. Right, now that fire is out. And there he is in all his glory.
Jesus Christ!
And we are not messing with him just yet. Now this is where we're all very thankful that we've saved so much health for these particular situations. Okay, at this point we've been playing for, I don't know, a good old while, and we're going to give it a break. So we'll catch up later for part 2.